So I'll have a replay for you. So real quick, it's content into clients. It's my system on how to create 150 to 200 pieces of content in a day. Lots of misinformation about social media out there. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. You obviously can do this. I think what the biggest problem with social media managers these days is that you have great social media managers that know how to post, and then you have good content creators, but they don't necessarily know how to post as well. And so what we've tried to do is we try to marry those things together, right? So the two types of people that are going to benefit from this are beginners. This is if you've never done this before, just take notes. You're going to do this well. If you have done social media and you're not really getting the results you want, I'm going to give you guys some rocket fuel so that you guys can take this and start scaling up. Okay. Specifically, this is more for business. If you guys are looking to grow your business with social media, then you're in the right place. If you're looking to just be on social media to have a good time and to be an influencer, this is not necessarily the webinar for you. We want to specifically take this information and we want to monetize it, right? So we want to make sure that you're doing social media so that you can grow your business. That's why we're doing this today. Okay. And welcome new people. Thanks for coming. The goal for the next 60 minutes is to give you guys the keys to unlock exponential growth in your business using this content into cash system. Okay. For me, I'm going to give you guys a little story. I was able to grow my company to 7 figures in a very short period of time. It was about 1.5 years. And just to give you guys an idea, I was in 2019, I started this business in 2012, and it was just kind of clunking along. And I always loved to make movies, and that's where I come from, right? Doing movies was something that was really my passion. And so in 2012, I was like, why can't I take this same concept and bring it to business? And so we created this system called Content into Clients, and we're taking it from the perspective of creating films, right? And so we're going to do development, pre-production, production, post-production, and then distribution. All right. So, in 2019, trying to figure it out, COVID hit, one-man show, super overwhelmed, trying to make it happen. And then, was right around like 60K in debt, actually more than that. And then it was 69,000 in revenue, mounting debt, super broke, depressed, trying to make it happen. And so I rolled into a podcast that sort of changed my life, right? And the podcast that changed my life was I invited a friend of mine who had a super successful business in Atlanta, and it's a $45 million law firm. And he came on to the podcast, and I just started asking him questions about how he became successful and what he was doing. And this podcast really changed the trajectory of my business. I started doing this content for a guy named Lewis Scott. He lives in Atlanta. He has a $45 million law firm, does personal injury, and he started a company called 8-Figure Firm. And after 8-Figure Firm started, I noticed that he just kept growing businesses, right? He wanted to teach other attorneys how to grow their businesses from 7 figures to 8 figures. Thank you, L. I appreciate you. And so he brought me in and he said, hey, Armando, why don't you come in and create content for me on a volume, right? In a volume basis. And I was like, sure, that works. And so I came in, started doing content for him. Then I started doing content for a nonprofit attorney. And I saw how she went from around 700K a year in revenue to 2.4 million in 6 months. Right. And we have a testimonial from her saying this. Right. And I saw all of these clues that people were just growing their business. And I was like, man, okay, there's something to this. And Lewis was like, well, look, I can help mentor you. Armando, you have a 7-figure business. You just don't know how to get there. And I was like, yeah, true. So anyway, he said, Armando, I can help you with your business, but you're going to have to pay me $2,500 a month. Right. And I was like, Jesus. Okay. Took me a second, but I was like, look, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to keep getting what I'm getting. So I went ahead and I put it on my credit card, right? Started paying him $2,500 a month. And the first month I started working with him, closed a $30,000 deal, right? And I was like, damn, okay. Obviously, the mindset had to shift. And so I did a mindset shift. And I started thinking about, okay, who are the people? Why am I doing this? Right? What is the whole purpose? And for me, it was like, okay, I want to help people, right? I want to help people. I want to help my family. I want to help my friends. And I said, if I can create a business that can help people free their time up and so that they can increase their revenue, then we're in a good spot. Right. And so that's how Content into Clients happen. Now, 2023 has been a little crazy. And as AI starts to get more evolved, as social media starts to evolve, you're going to find more and more that if you don't do the things that are trend setting, you're going to kind of be left behind. And so what I wanted to do was, okay, you've got to create a production company along with your current company. And what does that mean? That means that we've got to create content because that's what's going to show the health of the business. What does that mean? That means that nobody's going to your website anymore. They're going to your social media and they're going, what are they posting about? What are they, what do they do? How are they helping people? How are they building value? How are they trustworthy? How are they credible? And if you can create content on a regular basis that way, then you're going to start to increase your revenue. You're going to start to increase that brand authority. And that's what we're doing here. So don't be a blockbuster. Get together with the trend. Okay. And so these are the 3 secrets to what we do here. And that's to develop the content the right way, how to shoot the content, and then how to distribute that content. So that's what we're talking about today. Secret number 1, we're talking about how to develop the right content so your audience flocks to your page and wants to give you money. How do we do that? So we are always thinking about the end in mind. Who are our target market? Who are we creating the content for so that when we create it, it resonates, right? And so basically what we're doing is we're going, okay, not only are we going to create content for, I'll give you an example. If we're a personal injury attorney, we're not just going to create content that surrounds the legal, right? We're going to create content that's legal and then something else that we're passionate about, right? So it could be travel, could be relationships, could be leadership, could be mindset. There's a plethora of things that you guys can be talking about that resonate with a larger audience, right? And you can increase that engagement by creating content that is fun, it's value build, it's entertaining, and this is how we're going to create it, right? And this is going to be 150 pieces of content in one day, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that because it's unrealistic to think that you're going to want to create content on a daily basis. So what I recommend is pick one day a month or 2 days every 2 months so that you can batch create the content and you can get ready for that one day, right? Making sure that we get enough wardrobe, we get our hair shaved and, cleaned up, and you wear makeup and you're looking your best, right? So you're going to typecast your brand, and we're going to talk about typecasting here in a second. Make sure you guys have sticky headlines, listicles, history ofs, and most definitely a podcast. Let me tell you guys something. Podcast, if you guys are going to do anything, first thing I would do is to create a podcast. And this is why you're going to do it, because it's the quickest way you're going to see return on your investment for the content that you're creating. And what you're probably saying, Armando, nobody listens to podcasts. And that's true at the very beginning. Nobody's really going to listen to your podcast, but that's not where you're going to create it. You're going to create your podcast so that you can invite referral partners, strategic partners, potential clients, current clients, people that you've worked with, and you'll bring them onto your podcast, 1, so that you can create content, 2, so that you have a show going out weekly, right? And then 3, that's where your revenue source is going to come from. Like, I've gotten tons of referrals from my podcast guests, right? Because nowadays, back in the day, you used to go golf, you used to take somebody to dinner, you'd you know, and you can still do that, but why not invite somebody to your podcast? You guys are recording it. It's there for them. It's there for you. You can promote them. They can promote you. And then you guys can create that referral partnership where you're like, hey, this really makes sense. I don't do what you do. You don't do what I do. Let's refer business to each other. Right. And you guys can create that relationship. And there's no better way than a podcast these days. So, and we'll talk about how to do that too. Right. So here are the most profitable niches to talk about, according to Blogger Passion. So you can talk about how to make money online. So if that's something that you're passionate about, something that you know a lot about, then go on there and you can write up, you know, how to make money online. It could be, you know, Shopify, could be on Amazon, could be, you know, creating webinars, things like this. Finance is a big one. Gaming is also a big one. Pets, entertainment, food, technology. And I'll send you guys this PowerPoint so that you guys have it. But this is going to be your most profitable niches that you want to be talking about. Okay. Archetypes. So think about when you watch a movie, there's a reason why these archetypes stay the same, right? The Rock is the Rock in every single movie, right? Kate Hudson, right? They all have that sort of archetype. So I want you to think about what your archetype is. And I've got, and this is all from, you know, story building and screenwriting, you know, but you guys can come through here and you guys can go, you know, how am I coming across to people, right? Am I the creator? Am I, you know, the innocent, is the sage, the explorer, the outlaw, the magician, the hero? And you can start to craft your online persona based on the archetypes that are here so that when people see you, they're like immediately, boom, that's that person, right? And then you start creating your channel just like it's a network television show, right? And so every time somebody comes to your channel, they're getting what they want, right? Are they getting comedy? Are they getting inspiration? Are they getting motivation? Are they getting value tips, tips and tricks, right? So you start to build this archetype and start building that brand so that when people come to your site or your channel, your social media platform, they're getting what they want. So top trends are already there. This is something that you can tap into super easy with, like Pinterest is a really good place to, you know, say, hey, I'm an MSP. What are some things, you know, what are some things that people are scared about? You know, what are some topics that business owners are scared of, right? And you type that into Pinterest, and Pinterest is going to give you like all of these listicles. Hey, top 10 cybersecurity threats, you know, top 10 trending threats that are on the horizon. You create all of that stuff, you put it into your into that spreadsheet, and then you can just every single on that day that you're batch creating, just cover each topic, right? And so that's a good way to get those top trending posts within your niche. We use Asana as our calendar. Some people use monday.com. I love Asana because you can put all of your content, like topics, then you can write out your captions, and then you can upload the videos in there so that when you're posting, it's super easy to post, right? And then you just like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Until now or yet, you cannot necessarily pre-plan reels because it's some sort of bug that they haven't fixed yet. Can't wait till they fix it so that you can just go ahead and schedule all of this stuff. But currently we have our social media manager that's like doing it every day for each and every one of our clients. But it takes her about 10 minutes a day to post on all platforms per client. So it's not that difficult as long as you plan it correctly. This is Brett Thomas. He's a web designer. We talked to him. I was like, Brett, man, you need to start posting like daily and you'll triple your business. And he was like, I don't know, man. And I was like, dude, just try it. And so we started working together, and we tripled his business in 6 months, and he's just franchising across the United States. And I'll send you guys this PowerPoint just so that we can get through, but you know, it's a video testimonial. Also, guys, if you guys aren't using video testimonials in your content, highly recommend it, especially third-party endorsements are where it's at. So, like I was saying earlier, how are you guys currently showing the health of your business, right? Nobody's going to your website for your information. They're going to go to your website to maybe do a little more research, but these days everybody's hanging out on social media. So, some people love LinkedIn, some people love Instagram, some people love Facebook. And so, if you're not posting across all channels, you're missing out. And so, it also shows the health of a business when they see, hey, this business is posting on a regular, they're obviously active, right? They're obviously in business. And so it's an easy way for you to show how you help, tell what you do, build value. And here's a cool little ratio for you. 80% of the content that you should be posting online should be value build content. And then 20% should be call to action. And call to action is like ads, telling them exactly what to do if they want to reach you and to help you. The problem is most companies, they do 80% call to action and then 20% just value build and fun stuff. So switch those numbers and you guys will see the engagement start to go up, right? Secret number 2, we're going to talk about how to shoot your content, okay? Pick one day a month that you know. Make sure that it's in a spot where, where you have control of it. And then start at 8, right? 8 a.m. should be the call time. At 9 o'clock, invite your first podcast guest. At 10 o'clock, your second podcast guest. At 11 o'clock, your third podcast guest. And at noon, your fourth podcast guest, right? Batch create that content too. And then that way you have all of these videos in a bank, right? And you're never going to run out of content, right? That's what you guys are doing when you're batch creating this content, is so that you have all of this stuff that you can pull from so that when you're ready to post, it's right there at your fingertips. So also don't just focus on one kind of content, right? Like some people love to do the lip sync stuff like TikTok. Some people love to do podcasts only. I recommend doing a bunch of different stuff. Do a Q&A, walk. Here's a cool little hack that we do is we'll go downtown New Orleans or downtown Miami, wherever, and we'll just go hotel hopping with the phone, right? And then I'll just ask clients, I'll go, hey, tell me, answer this question. Hey, answer this question. Hey, answer this question. And so we do like 40, 70 Q&A as we're bouncing around to the Ritz, as we're bouncing around to the Four Seasons, all of these nice, locations. And it's amazing content. So that's a nice little hack for you. Just go hotel hopping and have a friend of yours just grab the phone and ask you questions. It's really that simple. Okay. Here are some video and content ideas. So you got offer videos, commercials, special promotions. If anything's going on that you like, Black Friday, obviously, but if you wanted to do something like, hey, in February, we're running a special where for the whole month of February, you're going to get 10% off if you want this service, right? So any offer videos like that. Holiday videos do really well. So, Christmas is coming up. Hey, we just want to wish you a nice, happy, Merry Christmas from Leduc Entertainment. Here's a really fun one too. We do a birthday video, and in the birthday video, we're doing, hey, happy birthday. In case you didn't know, here's the history of happy birthday and where it came about, right? And so we can send that now when it's people's birthday through our email list. Frequently asked questions, obviously, parody videos, trending reels, podcast setup videos, slice of life documentary videos. Top 10s are really fun too. Gambit is our alternative magazine down here. And you can ask, I know every year they do the best of. So what if you gave your best of, right? Best places to get a margarita, best place to get a burger, best place to get a taco, best place to get this, right? And here's your top 10. When you post it, then you can tag these businesses and then they'll follow you back. They'll reshare. It's a really easy way to create engagement. This is something else that I do. We work with a lot of attorneys. So we create top 10 lists and we work around the country. So we're doing top 10 personal injury attorneys in Miami, top 10 personal injuries attorneys in Louisiana, top 10 personal injury attorneys in Atlanta, right? So if there are people that you want to work with, create a listicle and put them as one of the top 10, right? And then all of a sudden they're all like, who's this person naming off top 10 people, you know? And then they start engaging with you. They see what you do. Another opportunity to do business. Video testimonials, of course, music videos for sure, fun or weird history within your niche, you know, so definitely do that. And then here's a case study of an MSP that we work with in Chicago. He's acquiring, you know, 500 MSPs within the next 5 years, and he goes really hard on podcasts, and got a nice video testimonial from him for sure. So, you know, what we learned is variety is the spice of life. You know, the more variety you have, but with the same messaging, you get more engagement. People will want to follow you. They'll comment on your stuff. They'll save your stuff. And that increases the, you know, when people are talking about the algorithm, that's what they're talking about, right? That why is Instagram going to push your stuff out above everybody else's? Because it resonates, right? Like it's good. It's a good piece of content. Obviously people are commenting on it, so it's going to go higher up, and then it's going to get pushed out to more people. And here's the thing. If you already know that these videos are hitting 10, 20, 150,000 views, then those are the videos that you boost. And then you can put money towards those videos, right? Boost those videos. And then you start increasing, and all of a sudden more people find you, more followers, the engagement goes up. And then obviously you'll have more revenue, right? Secret number 3, how to engage on social media the right way, right? So what you want to do is you want to be friendly, right? You want to follow other people, you want to follow people you want to work with, follow people you like, follow people that are within the industry. I also follow my competition. Don't be afraid to follow your competition. You know, I think there's an abundance of business out there. So I follow my competition. My competition follows me, right? Like different things, you know, like people's reels, comment on their content, engage with their content, you know, all of this stuff that you can do to increase what you're doing and how people are finding you, right? So you can follow your clients, follow other businesses, follow referral partners, post tips and tricks, send funny clips and memes and DMs, you know, follow pages your competition follows, look into Facebook groups, like 50 posts a day. I'll tell you, Facebook groups is also where just an untapped resource for you. If you guys are looking to increase your engagement, Facebook groups is where it's at. This was the nonprofit attorney I told you guys about. Her name, Audrey Chisholm. I saw when she went from 700K to 2.4 million in 6 months. I saw it. She's at 8 figures now. She's, you know, she's growing her empire. She wrote books, and it's just an amazing person. Just another case study that shows that this works. Now, let's talk about imposter syndrome for a quick second. I know a lot of people are sort of afraid to get out there, right? And do things. And look, I had some people on here right now, you know, messing with me and effing things up for me. And look, it affects, right? It affects you, but you bounce back. You know, you go, hey, look, I'm going to roll with the punches. That's part of being in that seat, right? Like sometimes when you're doing well, people will sort of see you as a target, but don't let that stop you from helping, right? Like a few bad apples aren't going to mess up the entire thing for you, right? So when it comes to imposter syndrome, don't be afraid to live your truth, to live authentically, and to tell people how you can help them, right? Because at the end of the day, if you believe in what you do and you believe that what you do actually helps people and actually can help the environment and just increase the, you know, just increase the happiness of being alive, then you should be out there sharing your message with the world, because there's people out there that want to work with you, that want to hire you, and you should absolutely not let your inner critic stop you from being who you should be, right? And helping people. So that's my thing on imposter syndrome. A thing to get over the imposter syndrome, I will tell you, is to jump in and just do it. Understand that the first month is going to be the hardest, and you may not like how you sound. You may not like how you look and whatever. Go, great. I got it out of the way. Thank God. Now I'm going to continue. Right. And then you just go in and you do another set of videos. And then the next month, you do another set of videos. And the next month, you do another set of videos. And I can promise you by month 3, you'll go, okay, I'm getting to this irreverent phase that I really don't care. I understand what this is. I'm just going to start creating content. And that's when the magic starts to happen, right? Because then when you start creating this content and people start engaging with it, and you know, Jimmy, who's a friend of mine who's on this call, lives in Miami. I was like, Jimmy, you have all of this knowledge. Why don't you just get online and start telling people how they can help themselves with sales and you know, and you're passionate. And like people started commenting. They were like, I love this content, right? Started getting more followers. And I was like, I told you, man, this is how it works. You just got to get out there and you got to start playing the game. So don't stop playing the game. So I know that this works. What works better than anything when it comes to organic social media content is the consistency. So I would recommend you guys write down, go, hey, I can do 5 days a week, or I can do 3 days a week, or I can do 1 day a week, right? Just pick that consistency and go, I'm going to commit to doing this. And I'm going to post across all platforms. And when I tell you all platforms, everything, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, your email list, like just make sure that you guys are consistently doing it, because the more you do it, the more people are going to remember, the more people are going to go, oh yeah, I remember that, you know, I need help with that. And then your DMs are going to start blowing up. Money will start coming in. With predictability comes scalability and all of that good stuff. So keep that consistency. That's the most important thing. Follow your followers and then analyze the data, right? Every month you should go back and go, hey, these videos are performing the best. Why are they performing the best? What about these videos are people resonating with? Great, let's do more of this, right? Pop, 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 pop. And then you start doing more of that. So I know you guys, and you guys can post in here if you want to. If you're excited, if you feel a little overwhelmed, let me know in the chat. I'm super excited. I have such conviction when it comes to this because I've seen it work, not just with me, but with all of the clients that I work with. And because it's such a good product, it just like it stays with people, right? Because like they're getting better, their confidence is growing, their bank account is growing, right? And so and they see that it's just this water faucet that just keeps growing, and they never want to turn it off, right? So if it's okay with you guys, I've been working really hard the last few months, level up, so ready for, yes, 2024 is going to be incredible. And I'm here to help. So I want to, this is the fastest growing marketing system in the world. I believe it wholeheartedly, 1,000%. It is one of the things that I see that is really a differentiator. If you're looking for something that is going to really change your business and also change your life, then this is where it's at. Content into clients. You're going to grow your business, right? And the right tools can help you save time and money. Let me tell you the story, a story of Rockefeller, right? Which is really great. There was a guy that had asked him to borrow $100,000. And Rockefeller's like, I will not loan you the money. But what I am going to do is I'm going to walk with you with my arm around you up and down the stock exchange. And by the end of the day, everybody's going to give you their money. Right. And they did. Everybody's just like, who's this guy? I want to give them money. So I'm telling you this because I had an epiphany 2-3 months ago, right? Where I'm like, and I read a book, it's called 10X is Easier Than 2X by Dan Sullivan. Got to read this book, but it's so good because I'm like, how can I increase my footprint? How can I increase my engagement? How can I increase, my revenue 10X instead of 2X? And what I realized is I've got to start meeting the top people, right? All of the actual influencers that have influence over thousands and sometimes hundreds of thousands of people, right? If I can align myself with those people, then as I'm in that sphere, I'm also getting introduced to all of these other people, right? And so my idea for you guys is, who are your referral partners? Who are the people that can introduce you to a slew of people that will buy from you because they tweeted about you and like they were like, yeah, this is the company to go with, right? That's what I want you guys to start thinking about, because if you guys can invite those people to your podcast, you're gonna start increasing that ROI like immediately. To give you an idea, Brian Hong, he has a company called Infintech, and we were just like, hey, we want to invite an SEO guy to the podcast because, you know, we would love to create a strategic partnership with an SEO company. This guy is a beast. Already has referred us several businesses. We've referred business to him. We work together in tandem, and like as a result of working together, man, we're growing like 5x with one relationship, right? Another relationship I just told you, Lewis Scott, because of the relationship I have with him, $300,000 in revenue for the year comes from that one person. So when I'm telling you guys that podcasting is where it's at, like fly to get your podcast up and running as quickly as you can, because these relationships that you have with the right person can change your business in one day, right? And so it's going to make you better. You're going to be able to get that content out there, right? And you'll build slowly, right, at the very beginning, because you may not be able to get these whales on your podcast, but you'll build up to it. And man, I've gotten some amazing guests. Pat Lencioni, who's won a book I read called 6 Types of Working Genius that changed my business. And I invited him. He ended up coming on, and he would not have come onto my podcast had I not been posting consistently for like 2 years, right? And Spaghetti on the Wall is now 124 episodes in, and I post daily on social media. So this guy's like, yeah, this guy says who he says he is. I trust it. He's an authority. Yeah, I'm going to give him my time. So same thing for you guys. It's going to be a slow build, but I'm telling you, it is something that will like transform your business if you do it consistently. So hop on that podcast trend fast, right? And look, you don't need 1 million followers to make $1 million. Got to align yourself with your referral partners that can open those doors for you. Okay. So this is what we offer. It is a creative consulting services. Now we have a done for you system, but we wanted to have a system here where we could help people like hold their hand through the process. So if you guys are like, oh man, Armando, this seems like a lot. It is a lot. But we can help you. We have a whole team that will sit down and we will come up with development for you, pre-production. We'll develop your messaging and branding. We'll give you a typecasting session. We're going to do a full social media audit, you know, help set up your social media calendar, come up with 150 topics, you know, create your dream 100 list so you can invite them to your podcast. We're going to show you how to start your own podcast. We're going to write some of these scripts for you. We're going to help you with hiring a crew. So you guys don't have to do this on your own. And I have some really fun techniques where you can hire these people maybe for free. Right. So, and I can give you guys a little bit more information on that, but we can help you with casting. If you guys are looking for, can you help someone? 100% I can help you in the UK. For sure. I have clients in Portugal. I have clients in Germany. We can absolutely help you. And so we can help you with locations, logistics, how to distribute the content, how to monetize the content, access to Facebook groups. And then guys, this webinar, don't mind the crazies. Don't mind the crazies. But here's the thing. This webinar I do weekly, right? And I do it live and I do it for a reason, right? I know people are like, oh, the evergreen webinar, and those work, right? And I'll probably get to that point, but I love doing the live stuff. And here's the deal. The replay goes up and I had 124 people sign up. Maybe some of them probably crazy, right? For sure, some of them were crazy. But out of the 124, I will have a replay page, right? And you guys are going to get the email, right? Hey, thank you so much for being on the webinar. Here's the offer again, and here's the replay. And then you guys will get 2 or 3 more emails saying, hey, the offer expires in the next 48 hours, right? So it's an excellent way to tell people about your business. Love it. And also in 2024, and you guys can email me if you want to, I'm going to start doing some joint ventures, right? So I want to now take this thing to a whole nother level where I have an MSP over here, Connor, who works with a juggernaut managed service providing cybersecurity company in Baton Rouge. And I'm going to start doing these webinars that are specifically designed for MSPs, right? And I'm going to invite him to my webinar. So we'll do the joint venture together. So now I'm going to do a niche content or social media content for MSP specifically, and have these authorities throughout the different niches on the webinar together. And then we're sharing expertise, we're sharing authority, and then we're sharing in revenue. So that's an idea for you guys. If you guys are thinking about, how can I create an offer and a webinar so that I can convert, right? And increase that authority, credibility, trust, and revenue. So that's our creative consulting services, what you get. You also get group coaching call, which is a weekly call with a bunch of other folks that are in the Facebook group, into the Content into Clients Facebook group, where we're talking about what we, some of the things that we're dealing with, and if we can help you in a group setting. It's a little bit cheaper, right? So that's $200. And then obviously you have the online course called Content into Clients, and it's a done by yourself system. If you, and do it at your own pace, right? Like you can do it at your own pace, however you want to do it. And that's at $199. So, if you don't have a plan, you're going to fail. And that's a big reason why people don't do social media correctly, is because they don't have a plan. And then they go, I posted, it didn't work. Social media doesn't work, right? But if you have a plan and you stick to it, my mentor always told me, the speed of growth in your business is tied to the speed of implementation. But here's the deal. If you implement fast, but it's the wrong thing, you're going to get there. You're never going to get there, right? Because you're doing the wrong thing over and over again. And you're like, oh, this is not working. But I'm giving you the plan that does work. So implement this plan and do it as quickly as you can, and you will grow your business. I promise. It's just predictable. So here's another case study of a company that we work with called Haunted History Tours. They work here in New Orleans. Amazing tour company. They've got several tours. We started working with them about 8 months ago. Their videos are in like the hundreds of thousands of views, like amazing, right? And have grown as a result. And so it's another case study that this works. Who does this work for? This works for everybody. If you're in service-based business and if you're in product-based business, that's right. Lloyd, that's right. A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan next week. 100,000%. We work with attorneys. We work with plumbers. We work with tour companies, films. If you're a filmmaker and you're trying to get your film out, like you've got to start doing social media organic, so that way you can start building that audience. So if you're an artist, right, this is something that you can use. If you're an actor, if you're a dancer, if you're a band, like start using organic social media and start taking the same concept that I'm telling you, right? Like if you're a band and you want to get more, more gigs, then start a podcast, a band podcast, invite venue owners, right? And talk to them about why they, about their venue and what they're doing with their venue, or invite agents, like band agents, to come to your podcast so that they can talk about what it is that they do, right? And so now you start increasing people that have influence, right? And you have the in to get more gigs. I'll give you guys something else that I'm working on. It's called Life on Bourbon. It's a comedy set on Bourbon Street, right? And so I am looking for funding for the film. So what do you think I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start inviting all of the owners of these French Quarter businesses to my podcast, right? And then I'm going to open up that conversation and go, "Hey, I'm working on this project called Life on Bourbon. Are you interested in coming on and being an investor on this project?" At least they're gonna listen, right? If not, want to be involved, right? And then we can start that conversation. So, guys, the possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless. So, um, understand that if you're not ready to scale or if you're afraid of growth, I would recommend not doing this, right? Because this is a lever that once you start pulling it, you will start seeing results and you will start seeing leads coming through, and a lot of them. So I would recommend, if you guys are not in a position where you guys can see a huge influx of business and you guys are going to get overwhelmed, then maybe you should probably start with operations and sales intake so that you're in a position to bring in all of these leads, right? Because they will come by a lot, right? And so you want to make sure that your intake and your follow-up strategy and all of that stuff is in place. So, I already guys told you about the webinar idea. I'm telling you, the webinar is where it's at. I'm picking up like 5-6 clients every single time I do a webinar, which is why I'm doing it weekly. Like, if you guys want to start seeing exponential growth in your business, have a start doing a webinar, hit me up. I can help you guys put it together. It's not that difficult, right? And what would the end result be worth to you, right? If I told you, hey, if you spend this much and you're going to get triple the return on investment, like guaranteed, you'd be like, I'm in. Of course I would, right? But like a lot of people, they're like, oh, they're on the fence and they fail to pull the trigger. And because they fail to pull the trigger, 6 months go by, a year goes by, another 2 years go by, and they don't make the decision. And then they wonder, they come back to me and they go, I should have made the decision to do this 2 years ago. I've had people do that, right? And so I don't want you guys to be 2 years down the line going, why didn't I start creating content in 2024? Right. And it's 2026. I could have started then. And by now I'd have 200, 300, 400 videos in the bank and people know who I am. Right. And I'm growing. I'm more confident. I'm getting speaking invites. I'm getting invited to podcasts. Right. So don't wait. Start today. So here's the deal that I have for the next 48 hours. It's the next 48 hours. If you guys sign up in the next 48 hours, I'm going to give you the creative consulting services. I'm going to give you the content into cash online course. And then I'm going to give you the group coaching call, all for $10.50. It usually would be $28.99, but it's $10.50. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you guys want to go ahead and head over, let me know. I'm also available for conversations. If you guys are like, hey, I really just kind of want to meet with you first, we can do that too. So here is the link to the Stripe. And if you guys click on that link, you guys can break it up into payments too. So you guys don't have to come out of pocket $10.50 today. Stripe works with a company called Affirm, and Affirm can break those payments up for you. And here's the cool thing is that Affirm will pay me, and then you can pay Affirm in installments. So if you guys are looking at, hey, I have maybe a high ticket item that people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to, go all in on it. Be like, great, we'll put it on Stripe, connect Affirm, and then Affirm, you can do it on a payment plan, and then go, okay, I get it, and then it's the pill is a little bit easier to swallow. So, but that is my webinar. I'm going to open it up to questions. Questions, everyone, anyone? Anything I can help you all with? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. Do you use software to post social media or do you do it manually? So, yeah, so we have to do it manually because everything that we post are reels, so it's the portrait size videos. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, like Planoly and later.com, they're all these posting software sites, but every time you schedule posts through reels through that, it like glitches. And so we're like, all right, well, let's just not worry about that. And so now what we do is just we put it on Asana, we have the video there, and then we just copy paste, copy paste. Ah, Metricool. Denise, are you, when you do Metricool, is it allowing you to post reels?
Yeah, as far as I know, I'll check in with our team, but they haven't mentioned it nor complained about it. So I don't, I've not. Usually that stuff is going to come to fruition as a frustration, but nobody's mentioned it. So,
What about TikTok personal
yeah, I post to TikTok personal for mine.
from Metricool?
Yeah, because I've got my own account, and then we have our company accounts. They're all under one account, if you will, but I can toggle between them. And I know I post to TikTok from my own.
Lloyd, when you post on Meta, I know it goes on Facebook and Instagram. What do you guys do with like TikTok and LinkedIn?
So LinkedIn, I have no problem scheduling a video. It's not a reel, so and a horizontal video in theory works better.
Sure.
But I have no. I mean, I post videos all the time on LinkedIn and schedule them. The only thing that you can't schedule on LinkedIn is and Twitter are polls, which have nothing to do with video, but
Sure.
polls are sort of fun things to do with for certain clients. You can also, in theory, you could probably do it through HubSpot, but I don't need to do it through HubSpot. TikTok, Vanessa's handling that for Larry. That's the only,
Sure.
that's still new to us. So I don't know about scheduling TikTok. Never tried
Okay.
it.
All right.
One thing you can't, you can't, a story is, you can do a story for Facebook on Meta and do a link, but not with Instagram. It's a stupid glitch. So if you want to do a story with a link, which is a little different than a reel, you got to do it on the phone. It sucks. It's stupid, but
And that's why we kind of just moved everything to the phone so that because she's doing it for everything across all platforms, it was just like it was easier to do just TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, like on the phone all at once, so that it wasn't broken up like that. Because yeah, that was a problem, right? It was like, oh, this is working here, but that's not
yeah,
necessarily.
but I can't use
here.
my phone because you and Larry are texting me. So sorry.
It's true.
Inside joke, guys.
It's true. It's true.
It's all good.
That's funny. Yeah, Lloyd's great. Lloyd works with an attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Larry, who's fun. This is a fun group. Fun group. Any other questions? Would love to help you guys. If not, I'm gonna sign off. Most common mistake to avoid when putting this plan into place. Overthinking. I think overthinking this is the first month. I think that you get caught up in the weeds in the first month because like everything you want it to be so perfect, because when you see a video, you know that like a commercial video is like you take 8 hours to shoot it, right? And it's so meticulous and it's so well crafted, right? But when you're doing like a volume of content, you just like it's just people are gonna scroll on by, right? Like it's gotta be good and it's gotta have quality, but don't overthink it. Just get it out there, right? It's better to be out there and being viewed, because like you may overthink it to the point where it's like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna this is gonna be a really good video, and then it does poorly, and then a video that you were like, this one's not gonna do that great, and then all of a sudden that one just like takes off. So you never know, right? It's just there's so many unknowns. So biggest thing is don't overthink it and just start posting. Yeah, better to have it done than perfect. 100%. You know, and then you can get better as you go. You know, that's it's easier to tweak later. And it's always fun to go back and see what your videos look like. When I go back and see my videos from 3-4 years ago, it's just completely different, you know? So yeah, don't overthink it. Just start. Anyone else? Yeah, I can, if I can help you, let me know. You guys can email us and look out for emails from us, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna follow up. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you.